final video on how to clear the path to your optimum health. Now, in this video, I want to introduce you to the methodology, right? Because there is existing DNA tests out there, and there's a lot of them actually, and you will see more and more. We are not far from finding DNA tests close to in Boots, for example, next to a pregnancy test. It will be really accessible to everyone, but it's yet not effective to everyone, and this is why methodology needs to be there, because I do have a lot of my clients that actually comes to me after having done one of those tests. But what they don't have first is the methodology and the support system, but also organizing this and trying to, prioritize, to implement everything and make those changes one at a time, over time. So that's why a methodology is important. And the methodology I've created, called the Gene Smart method, took quite a long time to fully mature, right? I've started DNA testing probably, it's been almost 8 years now, right? And it was very expensive at the time. And now it's becoming more and more accessible, as I said. So the missing link here is the methodology, and we're going to see here why Gene Smart stands for, but it's pretty obvious. Gene stand for genetic, and smart actually is not only about smart choices, but it's also something that is specific, something that is measurable, and something that is achievable, relevant, and also time-bound, right? So let's have a look on how my clients in general go through this, what I call the Gene Smart journey. It's actually inspired from an amazing book from Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey, and it's also a bit symbolic, but because it's a self-achievement about yourself, and it's very self-rewarding once you have achieved this personalized health mastery, so to speak. That's your story, right? And you can make it a bit heroic if you wish, and it is quite heroic to actually get control of your health, right? To actually get back in this driving seat. And I compare this to The Hero's Journey of Joseph Campbell. But all of this, if you want to have a look at more details, it's either in my book, Cracking Your Health Code, that is available on Amazon, or all those resources are actually available on my website, thomasolivier.co.uk, on resources. You could have a look at this, right? But what this is basically those stages where someone will go through, okay? And those stages is from going to a statu quo to then going into something that is more proactive, okay? And you want to make that change, to then go into this transformational time, which is transformational work, where you implement all those new habits and everything, to then come back a bit later to a whole new level, because you will have achieved so much that you will live your life to a whole new level. And I'm not kidding about that. It sounds a bit like, all over the face here, but a lot of my clients, mainly, actually almost all of them, are agreeing to say that they turn their life around to a whole new level, because you have this feedback loop of changing things one thing at a time, over time, that leads you to change your environment, and then the environment changes you again. And from being unhealthy few years ago, now have clients being very unhealthy, to now started rock climbing, and 2 years down the line, there was no question about it. 2 years down the line, they were their GP talking about the risk of having a heart attack and being really worried about those things. So all of this can be changed, and there's no fatality, okay? And I want you to take to be bold enough actually to make those changes. So there's in this 7-step to personalized health mastery, which I describe in my book, okay, which is basically the Gene Smart method, is a 7-step process. And the first one we've seen earlier is about observing. And being an observer is realizing that the statu quo you are now will not help, okay? And you need to step out of it. You need to observe that if you stay and remain where you are, things won't change. You will be part of those alarming statistics, and you don't really want that to happen. So you need to then explore new horizon. You need to be able to explore yourself from within, okay? And this is where the DNA test comes from, to then have better result with that. And you can then become an apprentice where you're actually going to organize, you're going to learn about your mini habits, what importance, by order of importance, okay, what needs to be changed. But an apprentice needs also to have his tools and needs to build those mini habits thanks to tools, okay? So you need to somehow, one at a time, build those mini habits. And concretely, it can be let's say removing all the things that will spike your insulin. If we know that through your genetic testing that insulin sensitivity is a problem of yours, then we need to regulate that, right? So we need to implement all the food that actually will not have your insulin response spiking over time, because in the long term that could lead to diabetes, that could lead to heart health complication, right? So you want to control this, and if this is your priority, then this is what we're going to do for. It doesn't matter how long it takes, right? Hopefully, you know, we have organized things to be the best way, and you know, to go faster enough. But every person is different once again. So if it takes you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, it doesn't matter, right? To take care of one priority, it doesn't matter. What matters is once you have done it, it's done for good, okay? And you don't have to come back to it. You can move on to what is your next priority, one at a time, over time. And this is what is the real way to your success. So once you have done that, you sort of have conquered, right? And you're very excited about it. But you should always have this growth mindset of going to somewhere, something else and something else. This is how you become actually an expert, okay? And by becoming an expert, you can actually feel amazing about it, but also it will open new doors to a lot of different things. You know, a whole new life, a whole new lot of activities, things, passion that you will really enjoy, right? Things that you didn't know at the time. So that's why it's very exciting as well, and it's quite transformational. You then become to master your own health, and funny enough, a lot of people from the health industry, for example, I'm not saying you should go in, and be an active players in the health industry, but a lot of people actually went through this whole journey to master their own health, and then they just want to spread the world, right? So, but if you can actually do that within your environment, and you will do because you'll be passionate about it, to your family, just, you know, if you change yourself, change your family, it's good enough to change the whole things. So it's to see the big pictures as well. You are part of a big movement there. So there's 4 key areas to reach this Gen Smart sweet spot, right? Which is the nutrition, training, environment, and mindset, okay? And this is the foundation of what you need to change, right? And every aspect needs to be addressed, right? So this is what we're doing also in this in this methodology.